Welcome back to Building in Fallout. In our last episode, we got to constructing our advanced camp. Something a little more lived in, and bigger, more of a permanent structure. So, we built our house here in the background. Now, I've also constructed this small outbuilding, just with the bare necessities, but it's mainly meant to be a vending shop for anyone that wants to come through. We've got our ally set up, a couple of beds if people need to get rested or well tuned, we have that. Something to be able to cook, something to be able to repair weapons or scrap items, a little storage. We also went back to our original camp, and grabbed crops. So since we had the green thumb, it gave us 2 of each. So we decided to plant 2 of each. Now that's going to be super beneficial. One, because we can make double the vegetable starch or double the soups. But another reason is eventually we're going to be getting an item called a Brahmin pen. And we need razor grain for that. So having 2 of these will give us the 4 razor grain needed when we finally get that. It should be in a vendor right now, but you can find it for free, so why waste caps when you're just going to run across it eventually. That was pretty much it while I was off camera. I did put in a back door, because I know we've got the big garage door, but there's no way to access it from the outside. That would have been, easy to do, so I did my patented double door design again. Gave myself... yeah. Which, again, you need to have the atomic shop items for that to work. But, I digress. Something that is missing, in my opinion, for this whole setup is we do not have the vault setup that we did. Now, in our very first episode, we came across a key and have had the miscellaneous quest to find out what it unlocks ever since. So we're going to take this episode to break from the norm, and we're trying to get all the way up here. That's the idea. And you can see that people like to camp around here, so we could, go over here to Chaos Gremlins camp. That would also cost us 54 caps. So even if we were going to travel to said player's camp, it's still a good idea to fast travel to Vault 76 and cut that in half. Or by even less, maybe. Either way, it's just a good idea to get closer to your target if you have a fast travel location that is closer. I know I say that in almost every video that I fast travel, but it really does help to save the caps. Instead of going from one side of the map to the other on 60 caps, you can get there on 10 or 15. It doesn't sound like you're saving much, but that all adds up. So now that we are here back at the good old starting grounds, first things first, let's see if we got any donations. I'll take it. Lobby pins are useful. So from here, it wants us to head north, and we can go pretty much any way to do that. But like I said, if we are fortunate to have a player's camp, see that from 40 caps. We are saving 40 caps if we were to do the fast travel. But since it's not going to be a guarantee that you will have a player in that area, what I'm going to do instead, we really shouldn't need the power armor because we're back in the woods. This is a low level area. Now when we cut through this small part is where it's going to get a little dicey. But again, we shouldn't really be needing too much super heavy protection. That, and I've got like 3 fully charged fusion cores. Everything else is back charging at the camp. And I would like to be able to sprint most of the way there. Now there's a few places to discover, like this is a cultist camp. if you want to stop and mess around with that. Anytime, and I do mean anytime, that you see the farm icon pop up, do not hesitate to go and investigate. Now, this is a new location. I don't ever recall this being here. Is this like a Foundation outpost? Huh. Yeah, this is new. I wish I'd have known this was here. This is an easy suit of power armor right behind the vault. Settler's Ridge. Well, good to know that this is here now. And that's the benefit to exploring. Just gonna go ahead and scavenge a few items because we're here. But moving on from here, as I was saying, anytime you see a farm icon, it is a very desirable area. Like, anytime. Oh, look at that. I am thirsty. I'm hungry too, but we can deal with that in a moment. But yeah, farms are very desirable areas to discover. Most of the times it's because they will have a crop that you can use. Other times it's because they will have settlers that you can interact with. But anytime you see a farm icon, my suggestion is to find it. Now, this farm in particular is rather important, especially for treasure hunters. If you have stumbled across, oh, I think it's the forest treasure map number 4. I know it's a forest treasure map, that much is obvious, and I want to say that it's number 4. But it will point you to this area, and this little mound that you see right here is the treasure. I can't access it because I don't have the map. But if you go around to player vendors, a lot of them sell them. I myself sell them instead of treasure hunting. Looky here, somebody got smart and made a camp right next to the farm. Huh. Well, ain't that special? I mean, that is a really smart idea for several different reasons. One, again, they're here next to a farm, so there are... I don't know about crops. What crops do these... Pumpkins, silt bean, potatoes, and razor grain. These are all very good choices. Besides the potatoes, everything makes a soup. And you know how much I like soup. So yeah, that was quite a stroke of genius on this player's behalf. I like it. I like it a lot. They got themselves a nice little hunting lodge here. Ow. Oh, they're trapped everywhere. Apparently they don't like visitors. I'm curious. Okay, it just adds radiation for a second. I was gonna blow up, I thought. Nice power armor displays. Got a veteran player here. I like it. I mean, some of it's a little... Well, if you're not gonna lock it, I'm gonna take it. Sorry. That's kind of how I roll. You can... Nice camp. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so move it. Ooh, decontamination chamber. Well, come on. Thank you. Alright. So moving on from here, we're just going to continue to head north. Now, the whole reason that we're doing this is because we are looking to get an additive for our camp. Personally, I really don't use it that much. At one point in time, like I know in a previous video, I said that for my camp items, I only like to throw out stuff that is usable. Crafting tables, stat boosters, vending machines, things that you can interact with, and not so much the decor, not so much, interior decorating. But I know on one of my profiles, I took this free vault that they give you, and I ran with it. I basically walled it off to make a small apartment. I had the couches, I had the wall art, I had it all. Now, we have come to one of my favorite areas in the game. For one, if you get into the Nuka Shine mission, you can wake up here on a hangover, and it's like a little Alice in Wonderland tea party, but there's several costume items. There's almost always cranberries here, and there's a lot of lootable stuff. The game sets, you got the hats and all this good stuff that you can break down to parts. But over here, we have ourselves a crystal outcropping. So if you're into energy weapons and need a lot of crystal for your upgrades and repairs, this is one of the best places for a camp, because we have a scavenger right here that you can hold on a second, because I'm gonna hop in here. It would seem not a moment too soon, because something's attacking. Why am I in danger? I have no idea what's attacking right now. But now that we have a strength +8, we're going to go ahead and rob her for all the ammo that she was offering. But if you go ahead and make a camp here, I really would like to know what in the world sees me. Yeah, if you make a camp here, you can go ahead and make this, crystal outcropping a resource. Seriously, what in the world sees me? It's one of the biggest pet peeves to any gamer. We've got the fight music on, no fight is happening. No, my anxiety isn't through the roof at all. And, there you are. And now she sees it too. We got ourselves a Mothman. Are you actually gonna fight, or are you just... Yeah, that's the thing with the Mothmen. Sometimes they fight, other times they're just stalking you. It's all creepy. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat up. Have a drink. But yeah, this is one of the best camps for... because crystal is a rare resource, and it's right near the starting vault. And again, this settler is pretty much always going to be here, or scavenger. But be warned, I have built with the resource in the floor, so you can put an extractor, and then you can actually put foundations around it, so that just a little bit is showing through the floor. That will also trap the scavenger in the foundation, so not suggested, although it is still pretty cool. So now we're just going to continue heading to the north. But that camp location is a very, very good example, as well as a very tight, close-knit example of how placing your camp can have added benefits depending on what's around. Did you really freeze on me? Oh, okay, no, it was loading. And that's what it was loading. There's a fight going on. Looks to me like we're coming up on yet again someone else's camp. Now, the last camp we were at and this one, both of them have not turned on their public, because you can stay hidden. You can keep your camp hidden. Like, for example, I am public, so you see how the icon is pulsing? That is just because, again, I am a vendor. You know, come to the scrap trap and get your scrap. Yes, I named it that because I'm a Borderlands fan. But you can turn that off at any time, and now that is hidden. Someone literally has to roll up on it themselves, because it won't show up on the map. But if you're trying to be a vendor, why hide? You know, you're going to need to advertise your location. So, not to knock this player, but, you know, why in the world are you keeping your vendor secret? Now, this is interesting. Anytime you see one of these, it's an iron deposit. So, if you find a place that has an old broken down extractor on it, you can build a brand new one. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, okay, so this was... Huh. So this was like this, but I wasn't sure if it's like the players, and then it's just broken. But you see this hatch right here? This is what we're going to go and collect at this point in time. I will take that, thank you. No wonder you're hidden your vendor. There's no reason. He ain't selling nothing but... Okay. Yeah, veteran player. I think that's a full collection of magazines. That is a full collection of well, he's missing one. If he's missing one. Yeah, no. Kudos to this person. They got some nice setup going on here. They've also got one of my personal favorite... Really? Yeah, one of my favorite allies, the Wanderer with the guitar, and you can use it yourself, so why not? Huh. Yeah, I really like this guy's style. Cool stuff. But here's some of the items I've been talking, like an exercise bike. That's a slot machine. But the exercise bike, I think that gives you a +2 endurance if you use it for a small time. And these are items that I highly suggest you end up grabbing from the Atomic Shop, just because you can get those bonuses. It may only be for like a half hour, but... Jeez. Well, if you're not going to lock it, I'm going to take it. But, you can see they have a Collectron. I have a small collection of those myself, but they are interesting. The main reason... Is that another camp? So apparently this is a very common area to camp. Not a complaint, just an observation. Now, this farm... Ooh, I see caution. Yeah, this farm has a major benefit of being one of the first places to find power armor. Now, it's in that shed, and you're going to need a lockpick skill, or you... Oh, that's cool. This person has the snow generator, so in their camp it's snowing. I love it. That's awesome. Nice camp. But when you're... Oh, look. Here's a junk pile. So, yet another desirable place to make one of your first campsites. There's even honey here. But, if you're trying to get into that shed and you don't have a lockpicking skill, come over here and grab this fella's key. You can read his last will and testament if you'd like, but... And always be aware when you take honey, it's going to summon bee swarms. Like, that's just gonna happen. So once you have the key, you come right back down here. This is the door that the key unlocks, and here is your power armor chance. So, yeah, there are plenty of places here in the forest off the bat that you can possibly find a full set of level 10 T45. Which is good stuff. I'm just doing it for the fusion cores at this point. Alright, so from here we're going to continue north past the actual farm. Now, I'm not entirely sure what crops are here, but I'm seeing potatoes, I'm seeing corn, I'm seeing even more insects. But quite a nice location. Not entirely sure why they didn't build on the junk, but not my camp, not my business. So moving on, looks like we've got some blood eagles here in the camp. I'm actually going to go around them for time's sake. Now when it comes to vault entrances, I know that here's yet another camp. So this is a very popular spot. A lot of people like to camp around here, it would seem. Again, that is not a complaint, it's just an observation. I think, yep, this guy has the Raider Punk, which he has a radio he uses to keep in contact with peoples and help find you side quests. But, to continue moving on. Now, the vault shelter that we're unlocking, it's going to be the basic one. I know that there are upgraded versions that you can get with Fallout First, but certain things cannot be put into the vault. For example, allies cannot be put in the vault. You cannot grow crops in the vault. The Brahmin pen I had mentioned earlier cannot go down in the vault. A lot of resource generators, or the collectrons that I was just talking about, the one that I just scavenged from at one of those camps. None of those can be put down in the vault, which is one of the reasons I made it a cosmetic only kind of thing. It was more of a trophy room for me to be like, hey, here's all my magazines I found, all my bobbleheads. You know, here's the nice furniture that I've unlocked in this, you know, super set up living room. But now that we've reached the vault here that we were trying to get to, we're going to go down into their hatch, into the Shelter Claim Center. Now, you can put the hatch pretty much anywhere. Personally, one of the things I love is it's obviously a ground hatch. I like to put it in the second story of my house just because where am I going? It's a Doctor Who situation. I might as well just be jumping in the Tartarus. So personally, I prefer to hide my vault entrance because even though you can lock it to outside invaders, if someone does decide to come through and just wreak havoc on me and my everything, which will happen, there are trolls everywhere, it doesn't matter where you go. I like to hide my vault, and I will demonstrate that as soon as we get back. Pardon me, I want to be friendly. Put my gun away. So talk to Mr. Clark here. Yes, I am here for the shelter. So now, you're going to go back here, and you're going to hop on the terminal. Now, there are a bunch of Vault Boy statues. They look like bobbleheads. Don't even bother. But go ahead and register as a new owner. And once that's confirmed, you can go ahead and, you know, read Ruben's stuff after you come over here and grab his passwords. Personally, he really doesn't tell you much. It's just some world building, really. I don't think there's any super useful information, at least not that I can recall. But let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Clark again. Nope, that's about it. Now, once you get this home expansion underway, not only is it going to give you the vault, but it's going to give you a few items to use in the vault. So, the vault utility room shelter is one thing, the power bank is another, so the vault itself, alright, excluding all the decor, is this. It's just a room that's adjacent off another room, so on and so forth. Oh, excuse me. I don't mean to be so tired, but I have a newborn baby, so sleep is foreign. But, yeah, so you can see this room here. You can see how they sectioned off this room for a bathroom. Things like that. But it's just the blank template that they have given you. And then you can take the power bank. It can go pretty much anywhere on these walls, and it'll power your entire thing. Yeah, so from here, since we've already gotten the objective done, we found out what that key finally unlocks. We're going to head back over here to the scrap trap. Oh, excuse me. Now, something that you should already be in the habit in, but just to kind of give a refresher, whenever you come back to your camp, for one, you should always run around to your crops, to your resource collectors, grab everything you can, and whatnot. But something that I like to do, like something I've noticed with this camp, when you fast travel here, it always puts you on the northeast side of the camp as a spawn point. So that's why I like to put my vendor on that side of the camp. So, you know, fast travel to your camp a few times. You know, you can even fast travel away to a free area like the Vault 76, the White Spring, Foundation, and then fast travel back. Just because if someone's coming here for your vendor off of your public icon, you want to know where they're going to spawn in. That way you can catch their eye right away. And, oh, hey, here's a vendor. So, for example, if I wanted to catch somebody's eye, I could go over here to lights. I can't use that just because it's atomic, and I'm sticking with my original statement. But we could put up some of these hanging lights. You know, make a... Well, let's go ahead and do that, actually. These icicle lights. We're going to have to connect some power that way, though. Just so it reaches across. You know, you could even put in one of these, whatever you have unlocked. You know, just something for a little show. You know, I should just be able to put a wall connector, and that should stretch it. There we go. Yeah, I just wanted all those lit up. But, you know, now you have a little bit of something to catch people's eye. And like, hey, he's got vending machines. And now I'm actually curious, because I haven't put one of these up before. I like it. Alright, but enough messing with that. What we're actually here to mess with, if you go all the way to the end, is the shelters tab. Now, like I had said before, if you want to do the Doctor Who thing, you know, how you actually getting into a shelter? Oh my goodness, it must be a portal. You can put it up here. But what I like to do is I like to bury it in water. Because if you put it just below the surface, to where people can't see it, they need support, eh? Oh, come on. There it is. So, you can't see that. I can't see that. So, unless you know it's there, then you're never really going to see it. So now, if we come up here, and then, now, personally, just as like a Pulowski shelter, you could always just stand between these two doors if you've got them, because someone's got to pick their way in to get to you. But if you're just in a I need a panic room kind of situation, you can come down here past the dirty water, and now you have your vault room utility shelter entrance. Now, of course, oh, where is it? Why can't I target it? So there's the major downside here is I can't really select it past the water, so there's no way for me to move it. For one, I can't move it, I can't select it. Once it's placed, but I also can't lock it. So I am totally reliant. I see, I can't even shine a light on it. You just have to know it's there. Hold on, question. If I get out of the floating camera mode, can I select it that way? No. No, I can't. So yeah, once it's placed, it's placed. And there's no way to get it out. But again, it's hidden. And it could be confusing to people because once you place a vendor or you place a shelter, you get this little icon that pops up, so now people know I have a shelter here, but they have to go searching for it. And they're never going to find it. Oh, really? Well, I didn't know that. So apparently people can mess with me in my own shelters. But that's not a big deal. So if we come down here, you can see how it's the blank template of what we had walked into before. Some building rules have changed so you can build more freely, whatever that means. Workshop snapping? Huh, okay, well. Now, why is it not showing up in new? Huh. So I'm looking for the items that we unlocked. So for example, for generators, yep, this is the power bank that I was speaking of. It only produces 12 power, so it says, but you can place this anywhere on a wall, well, almost anywhere on a wall, and then you now have a power flow to wherever. What I did whenever I was actually using these things is you don't have to put in foundations, I don't think. No, you don't have to put in foundations. But you can put in flooring. So, like, if I have these different styles of flooring, you could put those in if you wanted to. But you don't need foundations. If you wanted to put in walls, which I do believe that these vault walls, yeah, these vault walls are the ones that are given to you. So what I had done is I had just blocked off this square and then used these walls to, you know, make a bedroom, make a kitchen, make a bathroom, a big living area that went into a dining area. But again, you can do whatever you want. If you've seen some of the loading screens with a buddy of mine, all he did was put crafting stuff around the edges, called it a day. You know? But it's another option for you to customize, make your own, make this your own little secret hideout, turn it to the Bat Cave. I don't care. You know, make it the Silver Shroud's hideout for all I give a rat's patootie. But yeah, that is just another additive to the camp. I've seen people that have had full-on vault entrances and made their own vaults. It's all in the Atomic Shop to unlock it and, you know, have that kind of expansion. So if you're more into the constructing your base stuff, then this is one of the things for you. But I just wanted to demonstrate that, show you where to grab it from. It's a nice little additive to put with whatever you got going on camp-wise. But like I had said before, just get into the habit of, oh, I've come home, so I should grab all of my produce. I should go and grab all of the scrap from the extractor. You know, whatever you got going on for yourself. So over here, I can, you know, here's the scrap. Now, I'm half tempted to put another staircase here, but it's really not that hard just to run up this side. You know, grab some purified water, even grab some dirty water to boil if you need that kind of stuff. So, get into the habit of doing that every time you come back to your camp, or even make it a point to come back to your camp at some times to do that. It is my suggestion, though, after you've ran those rounds, to craft your food first, because it is beneficial to go here to utility, get that out of the way, and then, ooh, cranberry cobbler. And then you can go ahead and make all your other items. Be careful. I know the razor grind flour can be used for other things, but I don't have the recipes. Don't want to take the time for it just yet, but once you've got all of that, go ahead and come to your chemistry station, go into crafting yet again, because this time, you know, craft any healing items you may need, craft any ore that you have. And again, doing them singularly gives a tiny bit more EXP. But then once you have all that together, go ahead and scrap all your junk, because that'll make sure that you scrapped the vegetable starch as well, and you've gotten all the other scrap from the ores that you've smelted. And then that's the best time to go ahead, dump your junk, dump anything else that you want to hold, like boiled water. And then I like to hit the fusion core recharger, check the levels on those. You're full, so I'll take you. You're what's in the power armor, and you still have good charge. But both of you I just recently found. So this entire game you've seen us pick up fusion cores that have a quarter charge, and then we go and just burn through that quarter charge and get rid of it. Now you can collect those, bring them here, charge them back up. And again, I'm pretty sure that this is free in the Atomic Shop. If not, then, you know, I apologize. Hopefully it comes by on a discount at some time. And to be completely honest, there are a few more items that I would suggest you grabbing. One of them that I personally cannot live without. And I'm going to go ahead and make it. I know I said that I was going to keep atomic items out of this just because there's no guarantee a new player is going to have them. But if this thing shows up I highly suggest it. I just need to... Why not? What existing item is it clashing with? You lie to me, good sir. There is no existing item. Alright, well, let's try putting it up here then. But this is an ammo exchanger. Actually, I'm going to continue the magazines that way. I really want this downstairs. Why won't you let me put this downstairs next to the wall? What's wrong with the wall? What is it interjecting with? There's nothing for it to there we go. Ah, no, that's still away from the wall. Phooey, boffin befuddle. Come on. Just place the darn thing. Well, anyway, what this thing is an ammo conversion station. Yeah, I'm really gonna have to... Because that bugs me. I don't know why it won't let me put it next to the wall. But it will up here. That's just silly. I might have to put the display stuff down here. Uh-oh, someone's got a nuke. And the cranberry bog, we're fine. But the ammo converter is a really awesome thing. It's actually kind of a really good idea, but a horrible execution. For example, let's say I have railway spikes on me that I'm not going to use. I can come in here and I can sell one of them for 10 points. Or, yeah, I can sell 3 rounds for 10 points, 30 rounds for 100, or 300 rounds for 1,000. Now, you have to have the ammo in your inventory, not your stash, to trade it in. But once you're done trading in all the ammo that you don't want, you can go to the ammo you do want. So, for example, I would trade off all the ammo I don't need, like 44 or 5.56, and then come trade for the ammo I do need in 50 cal or 5mm. So it is a very useful piece of equipment. Again, I'm not sure if it's like constantly in the atomic shop or if it just comes around occasionally, but highly recommended piece of equipment there. So, and again, I know that I've said before that I'm trying to keep things to a newbie status and not use atomic store additives, but I do know that some of them are free for all players, and then other ones are not. And I'm pretty sure this is one of them, and that's another one. Actually, no, that one was not free. I remember that now. But I think it's constantly in the atomic shop. I know that this one is, and there are a few other items that I've always seen in there. So, again, when you start building up your atoms from doing all the challenges and whatnot, then spend it wisely. If you need to, do a little bit of research just to figure out, you know, hey, does this thing have any benefits, any boosts? Most of the time, they'll tell you if they do. But, I can turn those off. Huh, I didn't know that. But yeah, hopefully you found this informative and entertaining. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.